My name is Ken, but my friends call me Ken Dog, and I'm inviting you to join me as I travel down the Mother Road, Route 66. After leaving the cross of our Lord Jesus Christ in Groom, Texas, I was back out on the road, headed west, which so was the sun. It was making its quick descent down into the horizon, and I had one more stop I wanted to make. At the Bug Ranch, just outside Amarillo, I left my mark. Bug Ranch, or Slug Bug Ranch as it's called, is located in Conway, Texas. It's about 35 miles to the east of the more well-known Cadillac Ranch. And this is still just, it's kind of cool, maybe even better because there was nobody there the day I was there. I got to walk around and enjoy all of the different Volkswagens and other cars, as we can see back here. Looks like maybe an old Studebaker that are on property by myself with nothing really to bug me. Full pun intended. It's a neat little stop, and again, I really like these kind of places because it's just a true piece of Americana, in my opinion. Just look at how peaceful that is. Just me driving Route 66. Man, what a great evening that was. Lots of fun. It's just no music on the radio, no nothing. Just listening to the rhythm of the road. This was leading me into Amarillo, where I wanted to make a quick drive by the Big Texan. Yeah, this place is quite famous, obviously, for their Big Texan Challenge, that 72-ounce steak. Whereas if you eat it, some shrimp, a baked potato, a salad, a roll, and all the fixins in an hour or less, you get it for free. No. Just no. There's no way I would even attempt that. No, thank you. But there was something I didn't know about this place until this trip, and that is that they actually have a pretty decent-sized motel there on site that's pretty famous. Motel, hotel. It's not a Holiday Inn, that's for sure. Looks really kind of cool. I guess it's hard to get booked into. I didn't even check it as I'm staying up the road from there. But after this drive-by, I did get kind of hungry, so I wanted to make a quick stop just right by my hotel at the Buffalo Wild Wings, and then I was calling it a night. All right, Amarillo, it was fun. After a quick breakfast here at the Fairfield, it's time to hit the road. I'm going to New Mexico today. A couple stops still here in the general Amarillo area, but looking forward to getting into New Mexico. I happened to be stopped at a stoplight and was just looking around, and I spotted this amazing mural. So I had to pull over and check it out. As it turns out, the guy that was painting it happened to be there working on it, so I got to watch him work a little bit as he was finishing up the steam coming out of the locomotive. And then I got to talk to him about it. He said it's taken him about 8 weeks, mainly because of the weather. The wind and some rain, but mostly wind, has really slowed him down on this. But man, just look at it. It is spectacular. His name is Domingo, and he's a really nice guy. Does some great work. If you're looking for somebody to do a wall mural for you, you can find his details right here on the wall there. Hey, look, it's the Second Amendment cowboy, because what screams Texas more than a giant cowboy with the words Second Amendment blazoned across his chest? Oh, and 2 revolvers at his feet, of course. Careful.
Get your sister, where's she? Over there. Sis, come here. Sitting on the car as I used it. If it's not empty, just let it just
I made a heart. Well, let me see. Right like you're doing it again when we did it. Give some of that content.
I sure love my time here at the Cadillac Ranch. It was, I don't know, there's just something unique about it. A lot of people call it an eyesore. I call it a unique art installation, something that people can take part in. Even I left my mark. I know it didn't last long. I'm sure it didn't last long, but I'm glad I've got to do it because it's one of those things that I've always wanted to do. And as I was leaving, I noticed that people will paint anything, like these barriers and the road. And if you get the chance to go and you happen to see this kid right here selling his stuff there, buy something from him. Just do it. Located on the original alignment of Route 66, this Magnolia gas station was built in 1925. It operated as a gas station until 1953, but they kept it open as a barber shop until 1965. Originally the Cozy Cottage Camp, it was built in 1937, but in 1847 a fire destroyed the place. A year later they started to rebuild, and they were using World War II surplus items, and that's where this bent door came from, and thus where the name does come from, because as you can see, that door is literally bent. It's a cool little stop here, even if there is a lot of bugs. The bent door is just one of those classic stops on Route 66, an old gas station and cafe that's still standing, even if it's just barely the bones and an old Coke machine. That you just have to see, that really lets you know what life was like back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s for those traveling Route 66. Just up from that service station is the midpoint line. They say this is the exact middle between Los Angeles and Chicago. You've got 1,139 miles each way, and it's where I met these two. They're from Scotland, traveling Route 66. I know that my Route 66 journey didn't actually start in Chicago, but it was still really cool to be here, to know how many people have come to this point knowing that they're exactly halfway between Chicago and Los Angeles. But after walking in, it was time to head to the Midpoint Cafe and get something to eat. This place is awesome. It really does its heritage of Route 66 great, like this old Burma shave looking sign, but it's a classic diner, so I grabbed myself a seat at the counter here. I ordered the ultimate black bean burger. I was only able to eat about half because I knew I had to try a piece of that chocolate peanut butter pie. Having a piece of ugly crust pie. Oh man, this stuff's amazing. Yeah, I could actually see myself driving all the way over to Adrian, Texas, just to have lunch at the Midpoint Cafe. That place was great. As great as it was to be there, man, I loved that place. The black bean burger was great. That pie was amazing. I had to hit the road, and I had more I wanted to see, and there was more coming up here. Still to go in the state of Texas. I had one more stop, and it was just up the road a little ways in the town of Glen Rio. Glen Rio is either the last stop on Route 66 in Texas or your first stop, depending upon which way you're going. It's been seen in movies like The Grapes of Wrath, and even had a building used for it in the movie Cars. This one coming up was known as the Glen Rio Motel, and it actually looks like they're fixing it up right here. You could see right there somebody waving at me, but that was the building. The rest of Glen Rio, though, is pretty dilapidated, as you can see from these photos here. It was time to leave Texas behind and enter my third state of the trip, the land of enchantment. Here comes New Mexico.